Alright guys, so we're looking at a Steadicam with a Epic on it. It's an Epic Dragon with an Angenieux and a battery and a matte box. But what's different is it has the DJI Ronin mounted to it. Now, a lot of the reactions I get is, why would you put those two devices together? For me, it's actually a great combination, and I think it really makes sense. Here's why. We know how the gimbals work. We don't need to explain that. This gimbal has the enhancements or the upgrades from Cinemilled. So it has the longer extension arm here on each side. It has a drop down arm. And then I'm using the Cinemilled plate, which allows me to get onto the cheese plate on the Steadicam. So building out the Ronin a little bit larger gives us the full tilt, gives us the full range of motion, and allows us to have a battery on the back of the camera instead of on the side of the camera. And it allows us to use real lenses, real matte boxes. There's actually a follow focus on here as well, and a Teradek on the bottom down here. This Ronin here, just based on the nature of it, it's a stabilized 3-axis device, except for that 4th axis, which is the Z-axis, the up and down. So this is really more of a camera leveler. So the camera leveler is enhancing the Steadicam because it's keeping your camera digitally level based on horizon sensors and GPS at all times, where your Steadicam can be compromised by wind. It can be compromised by a shaky camera car or something like that, where you normally go and run and put gyros on it. So that's great. The Ronin is being enhanced by the Steadicam in that you now are wearing a comfortable Steadicam vest. You're not trying to do an easy rig or something where it's putting stuff over you and it's not really stabilizing, it's just kind of holding it. So holding it's half the battle. So that's done. Now it's stabilizing. How do you stabilize it in the Z-axis? This doesn't stabilize in the Z-axis. So that Steadicam arm is going to take out your footsteps, and it's going to allow you to boom the camera around real smooth and not get that direct input from the operator. So it sounds like, wow, perfect solution solved. The Steadicam has just become enhanced and we're done, and it's going to be like this all the time. The downside is you don't have that direct input anymore. You're going to have a delay in the pan as the intelligent computer in the Ronin determines, okay, you're panning, and that's not just some strange wiggle you're doing. You're actually trying to pan. So there's going to be a delay. That takes some thinking. There's going to be a really nasty delay in tilt, because as you need to tilt, you're really going to have to crank that post back in order for the camera to tilt. So that's really tough. So it's kind of like operating remotely, even though you have your hands directly on the thing. It's not suitable for all conditions. You're not going to run around with it. You're not going to try to hop rocks and do all these little things. The benefit is you are on a quick release here that Cinemilled makes. So I can quick release off of here and quick release right onto the handles without rebalancing. And now I can go get that danger shot. I can run after the car, fly through a window, whatever all the crazy kids are doing with gimbals. And then I can clip back on here and start doing some really nice finite narrative, whether it's low mode or high mode. Okay, so guys, just to sum it up here, the gimbal is enhancing the Steadicam in that it can do a digital horizon. That's kind of the biggest enhancement for me, is that we now have total isolation, all the benefits of the Steadicam that you can't get with just the Ronin being handheld, where you get that chop as you're walking. You're stiff arming this thing that weighs 16 pounds. This is fully built, so it's definitely right up there. There's a lot of chop there. So now the Steadicam is doing what it's famous for. It's taking out your footsteps. It's floating that camera through space while still being handheld. You're getting the best of both worlds, really. It's bringing in the powers of each, and it's really filling in the gaps where each one is lacking. The Ronin is a handheld device, or it's on an easy rig or something like that. It's not totally stabilized from you, not isolated from you, and it's really a tricky thing to mount onto your body. The Steadicam has solved that. It's real easy to mount onto your body. I can't stress enough the benefits of having a Steadicam arm. You also have that extra isolation from the gimbal. It's a really exciting combination that's going to allow us to get some really cool shots, and I think it's going to be a valuable tool on set. I think that's about it. Safe shooting, guys. Fly level, and watch your back muscles. This thing's heavy.